The next speaker will be Mrs. Ifeoma Okechukwu to kindly take the floor. Yes. Thank you very much.
I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank Dr. Ariba Med, because the day I received the call, I was like, who are you? How did you tell my name? Because as a matter of fact, I've been hiding. For some, God knows why, I avoid, you know, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have a full-time job, and I'm a missionary. I'm licensed and ordained minister. I preach every Sunday. So I'm busy.
That's right.
But Nigeria is dear to my heart. When she mentioned the title, Embracing Unity in Fragmented Nigerian Community, I wasn't even thinking here. I was thinking Nigeria. Because my observation since when I was 8 years old, when women were running on the streets of Ibadan, where my father lived as a policeman, I still have that memory. Agoli resitiku, agoli resitiku. Because that was the Yoruba version of Aguiyi. It's there. And 8 years old, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what, it changed my life. Because it took me from where I was to not just poverty, but like backward. But I thank God that eventually we have come to where we are today. And when I hear Nigerian Foundation of Michigan, I'm thinking if any people, any group of Nigerians think it wise enough to come together to answer Nigerian. Yeah, we have a double. We have a double. All of you can go down and still have So, even though yesterday evening the topic was changed to increasing women presence and participation in Nigerian Foundation of Michigan, I felt a little awkward because I'm not a member. How can I come and tell other people to become members when I'm not a member? I'm a hypocrite. But I thought about it and I said, I want to know what is the vision of the organization. Because I may not be a member, but if you tell me what the vision is, I can run with your vision. You can actually get me to just be a member instantly if I have an idea. But it goes back to what Dr. Obaseke said. No structure. Because a vision could not be found, nor a mission has ever been crafted for this unique organization, because it's uniquely positioned to represent Nigeria in a foreign land. It should have a vision. It should have a mission, how you carry out the vision. Women, me being one of them, you see the lady back there cooking. They may have just spent the whole of the day cooking and preparing that. Her motivation for doing that, there is some value to it. Yes. If you're just doing it for doing sake, she won't do it. Women are driven by value-based goals. And I can mention some of the values that drive women. Community is one of them, which Nigerian Foundation of Michigan seem to represent. Community, they want to come here and feel welcome. They want to feel safe. My fellow panelist mentioned earlier on that his wife said, you can go home back to Nigeria, I'm staying here. And And that's the view of a lot of women. Why? Because women don't feel safe at home. Because they like community. They won't like to stay in hotels and stay in like a lot of the men would do when they go back. They want to kind of,
Deal with family.
interact with the community. But they don't feel safe. So the same thing, if they come here, they don't feel accepted. They don't feel like you recognize them except to cook food and to take care of the babies. If there are babies, okay, you women, just go back there. Take care of those women, let the men talk. They can as well stay home. They won't be here. And I hate to mention this again. When I first saw the agenda, I said, this is typical of Nigeria. The women are listed last. You see, the men stand all the way down. The women are listed last.
Last but not the least.
Not the least, my brother. God bless you. I'm not bringing that up as a criticism. I'm just pointing out, what drives women, what motivates women. The next thing is family. Maybe you haven't noticed, we are in a foreign land. We don't have maids here. We still have to do what women do, be a wife, take care of children. And for some of us, we still need to work to be able to make up for the income for the family. And typically, I'm not saying all Nigerians are like that, but typically a lot of our husbands still like to read newspaper after coming back from work.
Curious.
Sit down in front of the TV. The woman gets little or no help. Pastor Joe mentioned that his teenage children may not want to join. So also they may not even help the woman in the house. The woman cleans, she cooks, she does all that. So by the time it comes to, and she belongs to one tribal organization already, and you want to add this extra one to her, you know what I mean? That certainly would be too much. So if you want the woman here, then you make room for the woman to be here. Another thing that drives women is fairness. Americans will call it equality. I don't believe in equality. I'm a woman. I don't believe in equality. Men, we need men. How many of you know I have a radio show? WLQV 1500. Every Sunday, 2:30.
WLQV.
2:30 every Sunday.
Where?
WLQV 1500. AM, yes, 1500. I mentioned that only because I had a long series where I was teaching on the man as the leader of homes. And so very often, when there are problems in the home and you go to counselors, the counselor will say, wife, submit to your husband now. Baba, just love your wife. Okay, two of you go home. And the problems are still there. But if you have an organization here and there is the CEO, if there's a problem in that organization, who is called upon? The CEO. Nobody will call the second person, nobody will call the third person, it's the CEO. So if your home is in disorder, in disarray, there's no unity there. You can't manage it to help your wife participate in an organization like this. The problem is with the man, not because the man caused the problem. Not because the man caused the problem, but because the man has been designated as the leader in the home. The Bible that most of us read says he's the leader, right?
He's the head.
Right? He's the head. So we should call him. That leader, part of the leadership here is to create, to understand the place of your wife in the house. Understand when you can come in and help her. Understand how you can help her to participate in things like this. How you can support her. Because without your support, she can't really do it. Another thing that motivates women is fairness. Somebody already mentioned it today. Fairness. If there is no fairness, a woman will lose interest fast. Okay? The reason women thrive in their churches, I'll tell you one of the reasons is because they believe that the pastor is fair. They trust their pastor. You know, they trust that whatever the pastor does to one person, he does to the other one. I'm an associate pastor in my church today. So I see these things and I know that once a woman knows that you're fair, that woman will follow you. And that part of fairness, again, I'm sorry I'm using this example, not that I'm mad about it or anything. You know, that part of fairness is, say in a symposium like this or in an organization like this, the women are given proper accommodation, proper recognition. Recognize that the woman has something to offer, not just in the kitchen only. I mean, many of us can testify to that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In our homes, let's not say in public.
Yeah.
Most of the things you do on the outside, what happens in the bedroom? Your wife will say, do it like this. And you go out and you do it. And you see the profit, right? But when it comes to the open, we want to relegate the women to the back. It doesn't always work. I think I can just drop I have only 2 more minutes. One of the things, one of the problems that we had in Nigeria, somebody mentioned it earlier on, that we brought to United States of America, was that our founding fathers, as noble as they were in their vision, they wanted, if you recognize that each one of these was a kingdom by themselves, self-governing, autonomous entities by themselves. The Igbo man came, pulled them together, give them this name, Nigeria. Right?
Yeah.
So they found themselves captives of the same colonial master. The only time history has shown, if you have any other document you can show me, but I think I read enough. The only time our founding fathers worked together was when they had one goal. That was to get themselves from under this person who is oppressing them, to get independence. So they had one goal, they had one faith, and that one faith drove them. If you want people to participate, if you want more collaboration, you have to have a unifying goal with a common faith. And that goal or goals that you have to have, that is why it's important to have this vision I'm talking about. It's important to have a mission. It doesn't mean you have to dissolve, you know, for you to have it. You can go back now and do what? And craft one. Because it does not only help you to focus and actually see where you're going and be able to differentiate between one activity or the other, which one is working towards this vision that you have casted with your mission. That unifying goal with common faith has to be inspiring. It has to be simple enough. District, not something that, I'll give you an example and I'll take my seat because I've been notified. Before America went to the moon, who remember the president of America then? Kennedy. He just called scientists inside the room and said, I want to put somebody in the moon.
That's it.
I want to put somebody in the moon. And all the scientists, everybody, oh, we are working on this, we are working on that, we are working on that. After all the grammar, I I want one thing,
Yeah.
to put somebody in the moon.
That's it.
And all of a sudden, everybody came together. Everybody came together. There was one unifying goal with one faith. To put America on the map.
Yep.
And that change is like it changed the way even the scientists saw themselves, even the different sectors that came together to make sure that that goal came to pass. Nigeria has never had a common goal. And until we have one common unifying goal back home or here, Nigeria cannot come together as one. Because if it is to find passport, I can go get my own passport. I don't need Nigeria Foundation of Michigan to get me a passport. You get what I'm saying? There has to be. You have to find what is it. And you know what? I think this should be one of our goals. To find a solution to the problem of Nigeria. Sitting in our ivory towers back here, our comfort zone back here is not good enough. And we're afraid to go home. We hide. We can't, we don't even want to tell anybody in the hotel where we are staying. Because we're so afraid of kidnappers, of armed robbers, or Boko Haram. We have to make that part of the vision here. And not only women will join you, but many more men will become interested.
I would like to, at this point, welcome our last speaker, Ms. Landy Kayode.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so my topic is the grooming and involving of youths during NFOM meetings and how youth presence at the meetings can improve our spirit of nationalism. And so this is one of my first meetings, and so I don't really have too much critique or really insight as to what you all are looking for, the involvement that you all are looking for with the youth. And so I feel like my goal today is just to kind of be the voice of the youth, because I do consider myself to be pretty young. And so I kind of just, instead of me kind of preaching to you all about, what I know, which all I really know about this organization is what I've heard today. I don't want to reiterate what has already been said. So instead of preaching, I kind of want to make my section more interactive and just kind of be a voice. I'm sure that you all have kind of questions on how to get youth more involved with this organization. So I kind of want to hear what you all have to say, and I want to give my youthful input to see how I can kind of bring a youthful perspective to improve the presence of youth in the organization. So
these can be in the form of questions from any of the members of the audience to what she has just expressed. She's willing to listen to any question that will inspire some answer from her that will help us see how youth can come into a company or the association to be of help, maybe to ginger us, to motivate us, or whatever questions that you have in mind.
And some suggestions also, right?
Yes, suggestions, yes.
Yeah, my name is Dewan. Well, I have a lot of list of involvement in this community, but I can't go through them now. I have actually talked to the president. The president is a very good friend. We went to college together, went to IFE together way back. And one thing I know him for is very upright and honest, and also very fearless. So those are the outstanding qualities that actually make me lend my support to him. We talk about involving the youth, and I volunteered myself to be the youth mentor, and we're going to educate the kids about culture, respect, and also get them into financial education. You know, because you can see most of us here with doctorate degrees, engineering, law, etc., etc. They are financially illiterate. I have spoken to a lot of them. Some have money by accident, but you talk to them, they don't know what to do with it. So those are some of the things we want to begin to educate the kids. You know, when we talk about dressing, about the Nigerian style last time, people were criticizing it. I don't really care about those things. If you look at the people who rule this world today, they are the Jewish people. Every one of them wear that small cap. When they go to the synagogue, their little kids wear it also. You know, when the pastor said he can't talk to this 19-year-old kid, I didn't feel very happy about it. Yeah. I called my son, he's here.
Me too.
Where's my son? Right there. He's 20 years old. He's taller than me. When I say, young man, meet me here, yeah, he will get up. Yeah. We should have that kind of leadership, yes, to the kids. You know, you don't allow your kids to abuse you, to dictate to you. You can be friend to them. You discuss it. You structure them. You know, you educate them. This is a very good place for kids to grow. Yes. You know, I'm not going to talk to my kid and they call police on me. He's going to go with the police. Won't come back anymore. It's the truth. You know, so we have been to a party before where a little kid come and told somebody to get up that he wants to sit down.
And the father supported.
The father was there, and it was almost a chaos until we step up to resolve the matters. It's because he didn't train the kid well. You know, for the fact that you're in America doesn't mean you should lose your value. When I see when Dr. Kenowa Basir came in, I went there, I greeted him. I speak Benin very well because I grew up in Benin. So I said, Domo. Domo means he's older than me. So here, we both went to Edo College. He went to Edo College, he was way my senior. When I see him, I call him Domo. You know, all these things we need to teach our kids. They won't take anything away from you. So understand? Then when I'm ready, we work with the kids. We take a lot of ideas from you because there are things we benefit from you from. When it comes to the digital age, you're ahead of us, or maybe we are lazy to get into it. We can learn from you. But my father told us way back that when I'm sitting down here and you guys are on top of Iroko tree, those long timber trees, he said, when you look forward, tell me what you see. He said, I'm sitting down here, I see beyond what you see. That is package of wisdom. So we are going to work with the kids, the girls, and also there are a lot of things I complain about. The way the young people dress now. In those days, the Robo man invented the wrapper and they tie it, we call it a dagger. It's hanging here. Now you see the kids, you wear pants and the pants is hanging on. All these things, we need to talk about them. You know, the women dress and all those splits, then put the chain here and giving Jesus Christ crucifix hit here. All this, we need to talk about them. You know, because if you don't preserve the body, the men are not going to be excited. So I'm ready. And I'm going to talk to some women also. I've seen a lot of men in the community I talk to, so that we sit down with the boys and the girls, talk to them, and we move forward. Thank you.
In response to what he said, two things that I kind of caught from that is when you first said that it's the responsibility of the parents to force their kids to, be involved in the organization.
No, to talk, to instruct them.
To instruct them. And I do think that is important, but also I feel like it's also important to realize that you have to also have elements of your organization that attracts young kids to an organization, because it's one thing to force them to come, but it's another thing to keep them there and to get there to bring, more people.
Yes.
So by just instructing them to come, that's not going to lead to any change. There has to be a way for the organization to attract the youth. And I feel like one of the best ways to attract the youth these days is just for the youth to know that there's a community of other youths. Like if I was coming here and I knew, a lot of other youths are going to be here, just that network is very strong, and it's going to bring other young people. So it's just about kind of creating a dominant presence in the young professional college students, that entire young youthful community, and just making it, creating the atmosphere that we are very we want to come to you. You don't come to us. We want to come to you. We want you to get involved. Kind of like we want you, not like, oh, no, you need to be obligated to come here, because that's not going to get any you to just volunteer to come here. So I feel like, you know, there's a very strong difference between the culture of, you know, what happens in Nigeria and compared to, you know, our generation in America here today. In Nigeria, it's, you know, very like, oh, I can feel like the older generation feels like, you know, they're, the younger generation has an obligation to kind of want to, you know, bridge the gap and be more involved in, you know, their ways, you know, and their activities, and, you know, their organizations, such as this organization. But in reality, and the way that our generation works here is that, I mean, they're really not like that at all. Instead of the older generation trying to, you know, kind of saying like, you know, we are the older generation, you need to come to us, kind of like that kind of attitude, I feel like it's very important for the older generation to be like, you know, we want you, and kind of like listening to and respecting the culture of the youth, and not really criticizing, because like some of the things that you mentioned, which are true, just like, you know, how people dress and things like that. I mean, I do feel like a lot of points that you made are very important, but when you get people in, you don't want, the first thing that you do, you don't want to criticize them on, you know, their culture and how they are. You kind of want to bring them in, understand where they're coming from. You can always suggest changes, but you're not going to keep people here if you're saying, oh, you need to do this, this, and this, like, you know, another parenting, or it should be a networking organization, a community organization that, you know, teaches, you know, good values, but still doesn't judge or criticize the culture that our generation has developed.
Yes. Thank you very much, partners. My name is Edward Etimju. I'm from the Cross River State. And I have a little bit of information or a positive idea regarding Nigerian Foundation. Now, we want to talk about Nigerian Foundation. There are so many changes that we have to look into in order to get to where we want to go. The reason we have Nigerian Foundation, or the reason there is anything like an organization, means it's a network. We need people to come together. And that means three things has to happen. A good community must know how to connect the people. That's the way we are now. Then engage the people. And then allow the people to grow. We can put this into the system that we are here. There is nothing bad about Nigerian Foundation. It's an excellent process. But if you look at it very well, we do not have a structure. That's number one. We always talk about structure, 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 but we have nobody that can come up with a solution to set up a structure. There is none. That's number one. Two, we have a lot of non-profit provincial organizations. They are very well structured. You can crack into them. So I think that Nigerian Foundation should be providing services to this non-profit organization, and that's it. Because there are a lot of potentials here. We have doctors, we have engineers, we have, just name any profession in Michigan, we have them in Nigerian Foundation. So what we need to do is to tap into those resources, to create a process where those professionals can now release or remit their resources in Nigerian Foundation. Nigerian Foundation should not be a 5 p.m. organization, which means we have to go to work in the morning and come back and start thinking about Nigerian Foundation. You know why? Because the people that we should be engaging with, they are all working in the morning. There are American organizations, Arab organizations, they have offices open in the morning, but by the time we leave our job back here, eat, relax with our family, and start thinking about Nigerian Foundation, we have nobody to talk to. So please, I'm just trying to say that I will be very happy to engage myself with the foundation if and only we change. Change means to stop what we do in the past, to end that past thing and start a new page. That's my suggestion to you.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, I'd like to give the next 10 minutes for general discussion because we're done with the presentation so that we can start to round up and let our mothers and sisters and parents go back to their families.
Can I say something about the youth, please?
Okay, about the youth, go ahead. After that.
She threw it.
And please, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, not going to be long. See, I think what you asked us was how can we get our youth involved? Engineer Obaseki and myself belong to the same organization. When we bought this place, we didn't buy it just for party. This side is going to be for the youth. We're going to bring Nigerian books and everything to teach them, something to make them interested to come out. One thing we observed in our society is that I try as much as possible to take my children to Nigeria to see the other side of life. Meet their grandfather, great-grandfather, they know the way we live. If we think, the devil said he can talk to his son because his son came from Nigeria. Adeleke can talk to his son because he came from Nigeria. If you have kids here, it's very, very difficult. Maybe that is the problem he's having. But if you take them home, occasionally, let us see the way life is in Nigeria. I believe they will want to join us, and that's what we are doing in Edu Heritage. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I still want us to do something concrete
2 minutes, I'm
for the
sorry,
youth. Yeah, for the youth. And I think I mentioned that before. I wasn't all criticism. You see, they have a way to connect. About 3 years ago, I've never heard of the organization, whether it's so Optimist or whatever. They invited my son to some restaurant in town center, and said they want some award in the school. We cannot just say, okay, we have this. We need to create something sentimental. It could be an endowment of first scholarship for seniors, $500 each. You know, that we celebrate them, we have an evening like this, that begins to connect them.
Thank you very
Something tangible, historical, that they will never forget.
Thank you very much. One goal, one faith, one mission. Yes.
My son, who is at Ohio now, before he went to Ohio, when he completed his undergrad at University of Michigan, you know, I could hardly get him to be engaged in doing anything. But he got employment. He didn't get a job. He got employment with CTE. Then that CTE posted him to a high school where he's in Detroit, you know, where he saw these poor kids and all these, you know, and he came home one day and says, "Mom, I can't believe some people are living like this. This is America. Some people in Detroit, if a child will come to school, the hair is not combed." And my son started an organization, a non-profit, just to help kids. He's in law school today. He brings, you know, during the vacation, he comes home with some of his buddies to go inside inner Detroit to help. And that has been found, you know, to be true of everybody. When you feel like you are helping somebody else, you know, something that actually inspires people, motivate people to get engaged, to do things are usually something worthwhile. They feel needed, they feel useful, including youth. The youth will want to get more engaged, you know, in addition to the other things that we have said. If they think they are contributing to something, let's tell them about the problem in Nigeria. Let's put it in their hands. They'll come up with a solution.
Thank you very much. Yes. Go ahead. Hold a second. Yeah.
Please, my name is Mr. Dotri. I came all the way from Grand Rapids. The princess. She's the one that made me.
You're welcome.
So, I want to say something about the youth, gentlemen.
About the youth.
See, I want to talk about the youth, please. You see, it's very, very important fact, anything in Nigeria that I'm attending, one of the reasons why I always try to is because of my kids. Because I know Nigeria very well. I'm an Igbo man. There's something about Nigeria I don't know. I tried these kids because they are here. They are Americans already. But at the same time, I don't want them to forget Nigeria. My legacy, before I go, is to make sure that my kids know where they come from. And remain with that culture. I don't want them to, for any reason, to be taken away from Nigeria custom and tradition. That is why, like somebody said, it's important to try to take them home. Let them see the other side,
Yes.
where they come from. Don't just Americanize them. So for this organization, I will suggest if there can be anything like the youth wing. What the pastor said is important. Having a kind of endowment for them will also help. But at the same time, it's not just giving them scholarship, but we have to find a way to teach them the culture. Teach them about Nigeria. Very, very important. Very, very important. It's one of the things that any man, any person should try to do for his kids. Don't let them come here and forget about that side. Let us have within the Nigeria Foundation here, let's have the youth wing, which is part and parcel of this thing. So they can come in here, somebody can help them to organize it, and then a lot of things can be done. People can come there and teach them so many things about Nigeria. That way they can be part of it. And that way even the scholarship or whatever you want to give them, through them, if you want to get a scholarship, you must be part of the
That's true.
part of the youth wing. It's not just to give them scholarship. But you get scholarship when you are part of the youth wing. When you are doing something to support Nigeria station.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, as part of my recommendations, I had suggested the Nigerian organization, Nigerian Foundation, introduce what we call annual athletics. As Edo, when we first formed Edo Heritage, we used to involve them. That is the only way we can get them involved. How did I meet my wife? It was, we all know through those annual association. It was at school. Otherwise, there is no way of meeting. You know, I recall Mrs. Ekato was trying to start something like that because her children, her daughters, they were all growing. How do they meet Nigerians, their fellow Nigerians? You know, that is one way we can get them to start interacting. That's why that umbrella organization is very important. And when all the ethnic groups they look into it, and you have this annual athletics season, they all meet and they compete with one another. That's how you form relationship.
Okay. And
Can I throw something in very quickly?
Okay, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, 1 minute is more than enough. I observed it among the Indians and all that, in a way of getting their young people together. They have a dating service. And Indians contact Indians there, and they get married. In the Nigerian community, all our young people are marrying outside our communities. And dating service will help to meet that a little bit.
Thank you very much.
all right. So someone mentioned something about a kind of like a scholarship that would be given, or kind of like a cultural sustenance program where basically you get all the youth together, teach them about the culture, and then you'll give scholarships to, you know, certain individuals within that group. I think that's a great idea. And I think that will get, you know, because people are looking, especially students are looking for scholarships, so that will definitely attract membership for sure. I think something that can be done in addition to that, I mean, I'm not sure if they're the funds or the connection, but as you said, I feel like it is very important for the younger generation to know their roots. And so I think, I mean, it would be amazing. I don't know how possible this is, but it would be amazing if there was like a yearly program where you all could take a group of young people every year to Nigeria.
That would be great.
Like once a year, so I don't know if people know people in airlines or something like that. That would attract a lot of young people, and they would want to get involved if they know that they have a chance to be part of the group that goes to Nigeria. You can take, different Nigerians. They can go back and do a project, helping out a different village or something like that, so you can make it very. And that's something that I would definitely love to help with. And a second thing that I think that would be great is co-sponsorships with current youthful organizations. For example, you mentioned something about having an ultimate sports type thing. They're already I know some colleges are already working right now on like a huge soccer league where they're getting all the different schools to come together and all these different students to come together and play sports. So how easy would it be if this organization just went to that the head of the school and said, we want to get involved, we want our presence to be known, it's something that you are already doing, so we can get them to get the students, and we are just getting involved and co-sponsoring that. So it takes the responsibility away from this organization, and it just shows that, and it will give this organization more exposure to the youth. And lastly, another thing is I recently co-founded an organization here called YAP, Young African Professionals. And basically our purpose is to build a network of the young African professionals in the Metro Detroit area. As somebody said earlier, of course, there are Nigerians in every single industry here. I'm in the finance industry. My roommate's in the nursing industry. We have friends in the engineering industry. Basically every industry is represented, and so as someone also said earlier, we feel like the building a network is extremely important. And something that I would like to also do, in addition to helping with that, possibly a trip back home, would be maybe co-sponsoring one of our upcoming events with this organization in order to give this organization more exposure to young professionals in the area.
Thank you very much. I would like the ex-president to please take the floor. Yes, and then the last person.
Sorry, when I don't I guess I've been thrown away for a long time.
I'm sorry, 2
But
minutes.
I'm still interested in the youth issue.
Okay.
We've had youth organizations in this Nigerian Foundation in the past several years and most recent time, but the issue we have is getting the youth to suggest to us what is it that they really would like to see happen in Nigerian Foundation. Secondly, what is it that they would like to bring forward to Nigerian Foundation so that they could be a part of making that decision for themselves within the community that they belong to. And it's very important if I'm a social worker. If your client is not participating in the treatment, it's not going to really happen well. So if the youth are not participating in their own programs, it's going to be difficult for us to get to their level of what they expect from us. So what we expect from the youth, according to your question, what do we expect to see? What we expect is to let us know exactly, because they can teach us as at today's age. They can teach us and let us know exactly what we're lacking and where they are. If I go home and tell my child, you must go here, the child going here expects to ask him or her to go, which is showing us our culture, but we have to live by the culture of where we live, and then let our children be involved in decision making. In our constitution, the Nigerian Foundation Constitution, we don't have a youth member of decision making in our Nigerian organization. So that should be one of the things we'll ask our president to please incorporate into what the decisions will be for the youth. So we want the youth on board, really.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ex-President. I'd like you to go next, and Mr. Okay.
My name is Sunday Amayale, President Yoruba America Community. president of Yoruba American community. About 5 years ago, when ex-president contacted me to come and join Nigeria Foundation, I was member of Nigeria Foundation then, but I decided not to go. When he called me, then I asked him, what is the benefits for my people? If there's no benefits there for my people, there's no way I can be sitting in the meeting every month. Personally, I know him because when somebody runs to medical problem, anything, he will send you to Catholic Church. If your mother come from Nigeria, your sister, everybody come, ask no paper, nothing. Ex-president we had, I know him for that. Every year he used to bring turkey, used clothes, people used to come around. I know him personally for that. Then I told him what is in the stake for my community. Because when I come to this country, there was about 4 community organizations. It's now 32. So they make Nigeria Foundation weak. So everybody go back home. That is what Dr. Obaseki has been saying. So when I come in, I told him, I said, Mr. President, you have a lot of work to do. You have to form all those presidents of organizations, they have to come together. If you don't serve your community, you can't become a national president of Nigeria Foundation. That's what I told you 5 years ago. Let them come and represent Yoruba American community. This is how you make Nigeria Foundation strong. They pay annual due because there's many things that I cannot do through Yoruba American community. I cannot write immigration letter now to immigration. I have to go through Nigeria Foundation. Say, Nigeria Foundation, I can forward Yoruba American community letter to Nigeria Foundation to back me up to American Embassy. That one is enough. If somebody has a problem in his local organization with immigration, all these things we need to set it. Immigration problem, health problem. You see, I'm an Arab community. The idea, Arab men will be using Rolls Royce. He has bridge card. He will use bridge card to buy something Koga to install. Yes. But what happened to Nigeria? Just to cause each other. All what Dr. Obaseki has been saying for the past 5 years, I've been singing it and I've been saying it until we make Nigeria Foundation an umbrella of other organizations. If we are to contribute $250 every year to foundation, that if we have any problem, they don't need to see my community. All they need is to see me or my secretary or my PRO or something to represent Yoruba American community. This is what we need. We have to start somewhere. If we don't start somewhere, we ain't no going nowhere.
I have to leave. Do you have any questions for me before I leave, please?
Well, my statement concerns you a little.
Oh, okay, I'll sit down then.
I would like you to sit down.
My name is Honorable. Some of what I was going to touch about, my president of Yoruba, my community, has spoken about it. But simple. I missed most of the panelists, and I'm so sorry about that. But I met you when you were speaking. Mrs. Informal Kijuku. And the thing is this. We are talking of a goal. That's what you said.
Unifying goal.
Unifying goal. That's most appropriate. But do we have a unifying heart? That's the problem of Nigeria. We are not united as a people. I came to this country, and the first place I used as a case study of Nigeria Foundation was the Jewish Community Center. I worked there for a year, and I saw how the Jews, when my friend Nana said they wear this little thing on their head, it reminded me, it took me back years of, they have variable opinions. They do not agree with each other, but they are united in a cause. But in Nigerian community, the Nigerians, we will leave a Nigerian medical doctor and go and visit an American doctor. And a Jew will never do that. A Chinese will never do that. They would rather drive from downriver to Troy to see that Chinese doctor. So when are we going to do that? That's one. But the reason again is, I'm bringing this quickly because of the roots. I know most of you will have talked about it.
Yes, indeed.
We are selfish, self-centered. Tribal problems is there. Envy. Oh, when did he get to America? He's richer than me. But the most thing now is this. I just want to, is that first I want to commend this present executive of Nigeria Foundation for bringing seminar. Nigeria Foundation is 23 years old. We're having the first seminar, symposium. This is like a conference. Mr. President Adeleke, before you leave office, please, if you can organize more so that we can bring like minds together like this and be able to start a sovereign national, our own sovereign national. But talk is cheap. Where it concerns you now is this. Everybody keeps saying, you know, we all like power. We love power. That's one thing Nigerians have been known for. You 5 panelists are here. You've spoken. I can assure you, I have been in Nigeria Foundation, I think a member of Nigeria Foundation for the last 18 years now. And I don't think I've seen any of you at the meeting. And you have been living in Michigan probably longer than me. And after today, I want to challenge you now. That's where it concerns you. You keep saying we should go back. We will go back and work. I left Nigeria Foundation, the president, this president guy called me back and said, listen, you have served this community, you have to come back. But please, are we going to see you in the next meeting to help us?
You want me to answer that question?
Yes. No.
Thank you. Vision. Give me a vision. If I buy your vision, I will run with you.
Okay. My answer to that is, right now, they may not have a vision. I'm not in the executive. But as a Nigerian, I didn't go to Nigerian Foundation to look for a vision. I went to Nigerian Foundation because I'm a Nigerian. Okay. As I'm a Nigerian, I expect every 5,000 Nigerians.
Okay, let me break that down. Let me break that down. Yeah, let me break that down.
If you just sit down,
yeah, if the purpose, again, I'm not saying that's the purpose of Nigeria, the Nigerian Foundation of Michigan. I'm not saying that is the purpose. But if the purpose of an organization, for example, is to party, because I remember when Dr. Ajiri was still in town, that was when I just came to America. I attended 1 or 2 meetings. There was no purpose. In fact, there was no objective. I couldn't see. I was trying to find out, why am I here? There was no mission. It was not targeted. You know, people come together, they take dues, they make roll calls, and people, you know, and everybody went home. You know, I didn't think I was needed. I didn't think it was useful to me. And I have too many things to do. You get what I'm saying, you know? So if the vision, for example, let me tell you one vision that would bring me here. If we begin to discuss the problem of Nigeria back home, you will see me here every single day. Because that problem is a 53-year-old problem, probably before then. Like I mentioned initially, our founding fathers went for independence. And in fact, thinking about just everything that I read, even Baba Awolowo and ISDQ and all of them, they would have been content that the British government left Nigeria and went home, and they just, Yoruba man, just go to your own clan. Igbo, just go back to where you are from. Everybody would have been content. The Hausa man was content being where he lived among his people. There was no the kind of animosity, the kind of hatred, you know, that this fault line that was built into the amalgamation of entities that were self-governing, you know, kind of, and not only that, they on purpose built-in hatred through the indirect rule, where parties are built on tribal, line rather than on ideologies. There have never been any political party in Nigeria where it was based on ideology. It is on Yoruba man. This is Yoruba party. This is Igbo party. This is Hausa party. You understand what I'm saying? And even after that, even till today, what do you see? You see things that are still done on quota basis. I taught in Federal Government College until I came here. I was at Owerri and I was at Queen's College. You will find somebody in the class who in my class today, my engineering program today, I will take that child aside and I'm going to give that child a remedial education so that child can come out to bear to be able to handle engineering courses. But no, I was forced to teach somebody in the classroom just based on quota system. You understand what I'm saying? So we have bigger problems and we brought those problems here. The people the reason we're having this problem did not start here. It started all the way from back home. And if we don't begin to address that, the solution will still be superficial. Does that make any sense?
Yes. In 2009, yes, sir.
We want to bring them on board.
Excuse me, sir. In 2009, I attended Mr. Bernard can be a witness. I put my neck in it, and unfortunately, maybe that was the time you were not coming.
Right.
Because from January to October to November, I think I attended almost every meeting. But when I noticed that we did not know what we were doing, then I said, look, I cannot devote so much time of my life to this. And I made that clear. I said, look, I don't know, things might have changed since I left. I mean, this organization exists in spite of me. So, but I'm still a Nigerian, that's why I showed up. This is not a question of hating my people. But I'm saying, we need to have a structure where we take ourselves serious. In 2009 or 2010, we did not take ourselves serious.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I would like you to have the last question.
No, but let me just quickly, those two panels. You see, my thing exactly is that you said if they are partying, you will not want to be part of that organization. But you see, somebody else's interest, another Nigerian, it may be party that will attract him. So you see, we have to bring in, you want to talk about Nigeria. Somebody else wants to party. Somebody else wants to. So every Nigerian has different mission, different focus of why they want to be part of the organization. So if yours is to go back to Nigeria, then another one is somebody else is just party. Another one is because of education. Another is because of the youth. These are the different things that each and every one of us cannot say because my vision was not addressed. Therefore, I don't think what we need to do, and that's why I said all those five panelists.
1 more minute.
Yes, those five panelists is that if you really meant what you said tonight, if you really meant it, whether it's education, it's youth, it's going back to Nigeria, it's party, it's this, all of you should be part of the change, the wind of change. You can only change something from inside, not from outside. And back to Nigeria, I have been to Nigeria twice to try to change. It's very, very difficult. We have been doing it and I'm still going again.
If you can't do it from here, you can't do it from
I don't have to do it from here, we have to do it from back home.
Please,
Thank you.
Thank you all the panelists, and thank you my audience. Almighty Lord will continue to be with you.
Amen.
To be honest with you,
Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. I look at this gathering, I find out there are a lot of divergent opinions.
Please, let's
so, and everybody wants the opinion, to be the soul of the organization. But if we work together to incorporate each other or one another's opinion, I think we will achieve the greatest goal. First of all, to be honest with you, who am I to criticize anybody? Okay? Presently, what I will tell everybody, just like my director of community outreach said, because Honorable Yodasipa is director of community outreach. Okay? After taking over the office, I know that she cannot make it for us.
because Nigeria Foundation has been run by 4 people. So what we have to do is to incorporate everybody. So we look into the community. The current executive council combines all the communities together. Okay? Now, Dr. Obaseki, I really appreciate you. You talk of a kind of a parliamentarian system, whereby the group come from the individual organization and make a joint Nigeria Foundation of Michigan. In fact, just like my president said, that has made it in the system that if God give us the strength that we are going to achieve in our own time. But the problem that we have now, Mrs. Okechukwu said, and Pastor Joe, they talk of fairness, equality, and justice. That is lacking in the Nigerian community. We might say we go to church, we go to mosque, but we don't have what we call fear of the Lord. And the Bible, they say fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I will be in the pulpit. I will be calling Jesus' name and everything. And when I see something that is not right, I will come. I've not been the part of system. I've not been in the this house. If you are not part of the house, you will not know how the house looks like. Many of you have been passing through this Evergreen Street. You see Edo Heritage, Edo Community Center. But you wouldn't know how the Edo Community Center is. But now that you come inside, when they tell you Edo Community Center is like this, you say yes, because I've been there. I mean, you know, so that is the only way the system can be changed. Just like it challenged everybody here. But if you say that we should achieve what you wanted before you can come, it might not happen like that. So all of us will be part of the system. And to answer you, ma'am, to be honest with you, when we came on board, the current administration, we have a Council of Women Affairs. And luckily, the lady that invited you, Princess Dr. Arebame, is the one in charge of the Women of Council Affairs. And to be honest with you, up to today, we have been getting some community women integrated. But the other side, to get them integrated, is a problem. And when they want to say something, I say, oh, we are not aware. And okay, you see this program we're having here. If the way mobilization gone haywire wide is the way people present, this place will not continue. And now you are talking of community. By the time we look here now, we have some eminent personality here. Whether we have up to 3 community presidents here. And they were all informed, either through the flyer or through the email, every night, morning and evening. But, you know, so the problem is how we're going to get together. But what they want, because of the egocentric or what can I call, whatever it is that when they come, they don't even know what is going on here. But when they come, they want to impose their idea. Yes. They want to impose whosoever they wanted to be the president, irrespective of whether that one has attended the meeting or not. And Pastor just said one thing, to be honest with you, which I want to reiterate here. Being a Nigerian, if you are not part of the system, it's not a bad right for you to be, because I'm a Nigerian, I'm going to head Nigeria Foundation of Michigan. It's a privilege to be a member of an organization. Now, I used to say it, you cannot go to Sam's Club and buy anything if you don't pay for Sam's Club fee. That's right. So if you are not part of Nigeria Foundation of Michigan yesterday, and you have not paid your annual due, you don't know how the meeting is being held, you don't know what the time of the meeting is, but you come that day, you pay your annual due, say yes, I'm right to be a president. And when people are telling you, say, how come you want to be a president? Because that is where the problem comes in. Because now, Professor said it. He said we are in court. Professor David. Professor David. You said you are in court. If you don't know the genesis of what took us to court, and when the people are saying it, they will. Sorry, gentlemen. Be careful. Be careful. So, if you know the genesis of what took us to court, okay, a prominent physician called me at a meeting. To be honest with you, he wanted to solve the problem. Then he asked me. I said, okay, your kinsman. Did you ask your kinsman what did they tell him when he wanted to be the president of his own organization? Because this guy has never been to the meeting. He just wanted to be a president of that community. And they said, no, we have never been to the meeting. And the same man that come to Nigeria Foundation, irrespective. That is the problem. The problem is fairness. The problem is justice. The problem is equality. And the fear of the Lord. Because many people, they don't have the fear of the Lord. What they wanted to be the rules.
in 2000. Now, because they wanted it in another way, that rule doesn't matter anymore. And that is the problem of Nigeria. Because part of the people calling themselves leaders, then in 2000, when somebody wanted to be the president, they say, no, you have not paid your annual due. This guy said, yes, I paid my annual due. Now they said that you are not regular at the meeting. Imagine, you have not paid your annual due. Yes, I paid my annual due. Okay, you have paid your annual due, but you are not regular at the meeting. Because of that, you cannot be a president. And the same people now that say, okay, let's forget of what happened, or what I said, or what I stood for that time. Because this is the man I want you to be. Let him be the president of the Foundation of Nigeria. So that is the kind of the problem. And if everybody are involved, what we are saying is this: Nigeria belongs to Nigerians. But you have to be part of the system. You have to know what is going on inside before you can come and change, whatever you wanted to change. Now, when it comes to youth, Landy, right? Landy, Sister Landy, I really appreciate you. The last time you came to the meeting, because I was just sworn in there, I think around February or March, and I challenge you because you are a leader and you are a bridge between we elders. Because I consider myself as one of elders. To be honest with you. And you are a bridge, you are a sandwich between us and the other younger generation. To be honest with you. And when they are passing, whether we like it or not, we are moving away from the stage for people like you to come in. Because that's where God created it. It's in Psalm 90. There's no way. You cannot live forever. So, as a sandwich between us and the younger generation, we need you. And I told you. And when we came on board, or when I came on board, we have a director, we have a youth affairs committee. The youth affairs committee, we put a leader there who is very interested in culture, who is Dr. Nana, because to be a mentor for the youth. And under his committee, he can set up subcommittees. So if you come, we will see the idea you have given us. You have given us about 5 ideas: youth organization, scholarship, and what have you. If you are part of the system, because we want this community to grow. We want it to grow beyond what the people that have been ruling, they tried, to be honest with you. But probably the vision was not enough. Just like you said, we have new vision and we have new mission. Okay. So we want to incorporate our vision and mission together so that we can advance Nigeria forward. It is not an easy task. Because what you have done today, some people that are here, we've learned one thing or the other. People that are not here, they count it as waste of time. But to be honest with you, you have imparted a lot of knowledge into us, a lot of ideas into us. See now, you see, when my honorable was talking about Nigerians Nigerians don't go to Nigerian positions. But as he said, he missed the lecture because Professor Edevie said lack of confidentiality.
Yes.
Because when you now go to the doctor, it has happened, and it nearly break the family.
Yes.
Because the statement you're supposed not to make, you make it. And if you go to the hospital, because I'm a physical therapist, there is HIPAA. If you go to one of the most of these big organizations, the patient it do not discuss patient information within the elevator. Don't discuss it within the corridor, because they know it can cause trouble. But our people, even including, just like you said, as a money, that you go to somebody to help you with the tax, you are going to pay for him. But before you say, oh, that guy has no money.
As if it's more funny.
Did they help you like that? So that is it. And because of that, we want to promote business. And just like you said, because I listed every suggestion and opinions. And by the time we go to when we go to the executive council, we discuss more on it. And to be honest with you, for information, we have got a director of business networking. And by the special grace of God, we are going to have yellow pages. So that I thank God, I think I saw our networking director here. He's a man of high experience. He has handled it at the regional level. So, and to let you know, because it doesn't make sense for me that I want to get a plumbing done in my house. I'm going to pay someone that will never say thank you when I don't pay the same amount to Nigeria. So please, thank you very much. And Pastor Do, I would like everybody of you to come back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, let me say this very quickly. to bring this to an end. I'll yield the last segment of the floor during the discussion period to the two organizers of this program. Those are the Council of, Dr. Mizar Bamen and Princess Marido Kabuga. They'll be the last to speak before I round it up. But before then, I'd like that gentleman to give just 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
I must apologize, I just came in because I just finished my work around 7 o'clock. One of the things I've heard within the last distance.
What's your name?
Oh, Gabriel Ugu. Okay.
Which local organization?
Let's continue. Just 1 minute.
If you want to know, Nigerian Foundation, NIDO, Enugu Community Organization, Igbo Association. I belong to everything that I can belong. Now, you cannot impact anything if you don't belong to it.
Yes.
And for those of you who think you can change anything from here, you are wasting your time. In Enugu today, Enugu is changing because there are some individuals from, including John Boo from Michigan, who are now back home. You have to go home and give the ideas. Get the ideas from here and go home and impact. That's number one. Number two, if your vision is not there, join in and create that vision. When you go to Access, Access has so many departments. Access is the most organized organization in the world outside their homeland. And this country gives them a lot of money. If we Nigerians had been organized, we should have been the ones telling Kwame Kirkpatrick what to do. But we were so disorganized that we couldn't get our act together. It's not too late. Then the other thing is that those of us who are old, if you are above 40, your time is gone. We should be, I'm serious, we should be looking at the next generation and be impacting them. Let's throw our egos to the bush for the sake of our children. Please, we have to. It is very, very absolute important.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Ola, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Ola. I'm one of the former presidents of the Nigerian Foundation. I've come here just to listen. I think the topic was the fragmented in Nigerian community.
Yes, embracing unity.
Yeah, embracing how we embrace it. Well, and I thank the panelists. They have talked a whole lot. And, most of the gentlemen and ladies here. Like the president, now I'm here today, it's a very controversial, but as an elder, I have to be here because the house is burning. The elder has to come out and make sure there's some water. Like the president said, we have this issue among Nigerians where we don't forgive ourselves. We need to show love for each other. We need to forgive ourselves. There will be a good beginning, but it has to continue. Like the president said, there's a case in court, and I happen to speak to both fracture of the fragment of the Nigerian community. The question I ask them is that now you are in court. The judge will tell you after a while, is either you are right, the other person is right, or you go back home and solve your problem. So I'm going to beg the Nigerian community, the time is up for us, for whatever the differences we do have, you know, it's time to come together. It's all about the nation that we are here, you know, and it's very important. I won't say much, you know, because that is what that's the topic. But it's about love, it's about forgiveness, it's about moving forward. To the youth, she asked a question. I'm very happy that Dr. Nana is in charge of that. And maybe in future they will organize a youth summit where you are going to be in charge, like the executive said, and you have to give us more issue, like the former president said, if they have an issue, they should present it to the community. So I wish you well, and long live Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Yes. Mr. Kapuga, do you have any comment, any input?
I just want to thank everybody for coming. It's been a labor of love. Some of us that are in the committee, on Mondays, we spend 3-4 hours, sometimes deep into 12 midnight, discussing. This is how this came about. About a month ago, I got a call. I was actually doing laundry. I missed his call. Then I called him back, and it was that gentleman. He had called all the way from Grand Rapids. He said, what can I do? I don't just want to come there and just eat. What can I do? I said, well, for starters, you could get an ad. So I told him the rate. He sent his check in the mail. And he said, I will be there for the party. Then later he said, when he sent the check, he wrote a letter. He said, you know what? I would want to come to the symposium and stay for the party and then go back on Sunday. He came with his family all the way from Grand Rapids. He's going to spend a lot of dollars to spend the weekend here. If that is the only person we've been able to get, I am happy. Yes. So that is what it's all about. We are family, whether we like it or not. We are family. Aside from Nigeria, the country, Nigeria, we are brothers and sisters. We are ambassadors of Nigeria. So we need to be our brother's keeper. We need to get over our problems, find a solution, and try to do something for our children. They are not here today. Why? Because my kids, I'm the Assistant General Secretary of Nigerian Foundation currently. And I make them type. And they'll be like, they're saying the same thing all over again. Halfway, they'll be like, Mommy, I'm not doing this. Say, what's the point? Why do you go there? That is the problem. People wear their egos on their sleeves. I have, people who know me would know that I love to go to church. Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, I've not been able to go to church because I'm putting the brochure together. Even today at work, I had to do that. I'm not getting paid. But what I want us to do is be family. Families fight. And what do families do when they fight? They come back together. And that is what we need to do. Come back together, do something for our children.
Good. Thank
Just 1 minute about the two ladies. Because women in Michigan, women in Michigan, we have been polarized. That is why you see the new faces, the ladies. Every day, you see them. They are doing the silence organizer. They have been doing everything. Women cannot handle it. The lady are handling it for us now. You can see them. They have been doing a good job. Please help me applaud them.
I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you very much for that time. I want to thank each and every one of you for, the participation. It was very lively, and I must indeed round this up at this point by first and foremost saying, if you have not completed your survey form, kindly do that as we round up now. And lastly, this issue, this last topic, where do we go from here, has been completely dealt with. And I'm going to say at this point that where we go from here, we can see from every input that came from the panelists table, from Dr. Basaki, from Professor Edevie, from from Pastor Ojo, from Mrs. Okechukwu and Ms. Kayode. They've given us the sense of guidance and direction. It's now up to us to sit down and start putting this roadmap together and start taking this forward strides. I want to once again thank each and every one of you and thank the audience for your complete support and cooperation. At this point, I would like to have somebody give us maybe a closing prayer. I'll refer to the pastor.
Okay, I'm privileged to do that.
Yes.
All right, let's pray.
Picture after life.
Okay.
Sorry, after this, we'll have a picture with the panelists and whoever wants to join, the executive.
Our Father in heaven, we want to let you know that we're very grateful, and we are reminded of your word that we should not forget the day of small beginnings. And Lord, we just trust that for us this symposium is that seed of small beginning for the revival of the Nigerian community. Lord, we pray that everyone who lives here will get home safely. And Lord, we ask, Father, that you will bless our activities this weekend, that Lord, that everything will be to your glory. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.